are a total staple for any room in the house. I personally love them. This one, so inexpensive, and it's gonna make for a great DIY project. I'm gonna give this a surprisingly simple and beautiful ombre backdrop using a combination of stains by Varathane. Here's what you'll need: an antique white stain, a navy stain, drop cloth, gloves, lint-free rags, tack cloth, 220 sandpaper, stir stick, polyurethane, and some high-quality paintbrushes. The first thing that you're gonna do is you're gonna have a thin piece of plywood, or luan in this case, cut to the perfect dimensions of the back of your bookcase. This is gonna be your new back panel. The very first step in this transformation is to sand it with 220 sandpaper. Next, make sure it's completely dust-free. Now it's time to start staining. I'm so excited for this. The first stain we're gonna use is antique white. This is gonna be our base for the bottom half of the board. After you apply the stain, you're gonna wanna let it sit for about 5 minutes before you wipe off any excess. Okay, so I'm finished up with that step, and we're gonna move on to our second stain. First thing you need to do is flip your board upside down. You don't want any drips to ruin the lighter color on your ombre. This second color is called Worn Navy. I'm gonna be applying it to the bottom quarter of the board for the first coat. You're gonna do a full coat and then let that dry 5 minutes before rubbing it in with your tack-free cloth. Okay, now here's where things get really fun. You're gonna apply your second coat of Worn Navy to the bottom half of the board. This makes the bottom segment that you've already done one coat on even darker, richer, and more saturated. The section that hadn't been stained yet is actually gonna be a great transition between your darkest color and your antique white. You're gonna let that coat sit for 3 minutes, and then you're gonna take a lint-free rag and wipe off any excess. Using that same lint-free rag, you're gonna take any excess stain that's on it, and you're gonna create a banding effect between your ombre colors. This is your best tool for helping blend all the colors together. You wanna use the excess stain on your rag to be able to make sure that each of the color bands is about the same size. And then let it dry for about an hour before you wanna add your coat of Varathane polyurethane. This watery ombre background adds a splash of color and really helps make this bookcase a standout piece in any space.